by the way, Nick Fuentes is supposed to be known as this huge racist, whatever like that. So why in the world is he talking to a black person? I mean, all people, a black woman he doesn't respect. This is what a lot of y'all are telling me. He don't respect black people. He don't like black people. He's a racist. Da 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 da.
Wow.
He is talking to Candace Owens. Let's go.
You know what? You're right, MDR. Who knew the only way for you to absolve yourself of all your racist accusations and all your fucking Twitter videos of, you know, worshiping Hitler, you know, the person that came out with the Nuremberg laws that would determine that you, a non-German person, cannot live in Germany? All it takes for you to absolve yourself of all that shit is to just stand next to another woman and an effeminate man. Because, you know, it's not like Nick has some type of selective bias towards, you know, certain black people, so long as they hold, you know, certain beliefs or, you know, certain behavioral traits that's easy for him to control. You know, it's not like Nick's the type of person to sit next to Tupac or Biggie Smalls, you know, type of men, or Kevin Samuels, that, you know, if he says something stupid or moronic that makes them second-class citizens or makes us all second-class citizens, they would immediately be punched in the face. Or at least checked. At least put the man, you know, check him, put him in his place. Like the gay Mexican pedophile that he is. I cannot believe I followed this man. But then again, you know, that's the problem with aesthetic Christians. You know, all they gotta do is just walk around on YouTube with the cross in one hand, the Bible in the other, and, you know, a bunch of scriptures in their back pocket to make you do things based on their interpretations of that scripture. But when it comes to the ahistorical beats, when it comes to being a Christian, what it means to that comes with being a Christian, for some reason people like this don't really seem to understand that. You find these people often siding with, you know, the Islam, who quite literally sees you in the same light as the Jew, meaning that if they're going to kill the Jew, they're going to kill the Christian. And then we got motherfuckers like you who look at this jackass who quite literally worships Hitler, the same person who quite literally, when he gained power in 1933 in Germany, took control of numbers of churches within Germany in order for him to implement his own version of the Bible that teaches racial purity. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. You're not Christian. You're aesthetically Christian.
So do you think it's literally, well, this is just what a black person is when they come out? Or do you think that post-welfare, LBJ, Great Society, this is what black Americans have become, and I have a right to respond to that and say that as a white man, I don't want to live there?
Well, you know, I think it's more nature than people would like to believe. You know, there's this classic tension of, is it nature, is it nurture, is it cultural, or is it intrinsic, is it racial? And I've always been on the latter side of this among conservatives. Conservatives like to say it's all culture. Black America is the way it is because of hip hop music and the Great Society and that kind of stuff. And I think the uncomfortable reality is a big part of it is intrinsic. You know, one of the big arguments against the abolition of slavery in the 1860s is that, you know, when Europeans colonized Africa, they hadn't discovered the wheel. There's no two-story buildings.
Okay, this paper.
Oh man, they're gonna throw in a commercial. Come on now. I'm gonna mute that. Make sure you guys hit the thumbs up button right now. Thus far, what do y'all think about what he's saying? He's saying, I guess black people by nature are the way they are because nature deemed them to be that way.
What the? My guy, you do realize he's talking about you, right? I mean, yeah, you got your, you got your PhD and all that, and you got your achievements and everything, but you're the type of person Nick's talking about. I can't believe I didn't catch that. He actually excluded himself from Nick's analysis of saying black people are genetically inferior. He's just saying it in a very pseudo-scientific way so it doesn't come off offensive. Like, MDR, I hope you do realize that what Nick's talking about, he's also including you into that factor. Like, there's no amount of, you know, placating politically, scientifically, even financially to this man, or what he says, is going to make you the exemption. I mean, you are the exemption to what he's actually saying, but like, Like, who do you think you are? Like, not only are you aesthetically Christian, you're also aesthetically black. Like, what the fuck are you, bro? Like, honestly, seriously, what the fuck is this guy? See, this is what I'm talking about. These are the type of people Nick likes to hang around. He likes to hang around the people that act like, oh, what Nick's saying doesn't apply to me, so therefore, you know, I'm in the clear. When what Nick does say does apply to you, because genetically, he is saying genetically you are inferior. This is us as retarded as a black person siding with Islam, saying that Islam is the true religion, despite the fact that Islam determines our genetic ancestry as nothing more than slavery. Nah, fam. MDR, in Nick's eyes, you are in fact a Nick too. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, bro. Like, Nick sees you the same way he sees the people you talk about 24/7, 7 days a week. You better wise the fuck up, man. See, this is what I'm talking about, these aesthetic Christians. And it's not just Christians, you know, there's also aesthetic blacks, aesthetic whites, aesthetic, you know, there's a lot of aesthetic, you know, a lot of people adopting identities and they don't understand what comes with the identity. It's kind of like the same way of saying, like, you know, I identify as being an impala. And then, like, you're hanging around the lions, and then the people are like, hey, you know, like, lions eat impala, right? And you're like, what? No, they don't eat impala. They like impala. What's the difference, guys? Come on. Like, come on. He said the lion right here next to all the lions and, you know, the lioness, right? They're saying they like impala. It doesn't imply that they eat impala. Come on, guys. Like, come on. And look, see, they got all these vegetables around them. I mean, they're not eating them or anything. They just got them around them. But that doesn't mean they eat impala, guys. Like, come on. Like, how fucking retarded do you have to be? This is what I'm talking about when I say Christ is king versus Christ is king. This man is more K Christ than he is C Christ. This is the shit that I am talking about, and they're in numbers. Get the fuck away from these people. And what fucking logic is this where, you know, oh, he's not racist, because if he's a racist, why is he specifically talking to black women? Why is he specifically talking to effeminate men? How can he be racist if he's always hanging around black people? You dumb motherfucker. That is the most kindergarten argument I have ever fucking heard of. With an argument like that, because the devil had a conversation with God, how is he evil? He's just simply misunderstood. Or better yet, you know, how they're a child predator, the only thing they're doing is talking to a kid. I mean, yeah, he's driving around in an unmarked van with, you know, with tinted windows and shit. And, you know, the seats are missing in the back, and he has a bag of candy, and there's like duct tape and some rope and shit. But, you know, he's just talking to children. What makes him a child predator, you know? He's just talking to a kid. How can black people hate themselves when they're under the true religion, Islam? Despite the fact that within the Quran, it quite literally says, based off your fucking genetics, the only thing you're destined to be is a goddamn slave. And then you go into the comment section and people are like, why aren't you talking about Andrew Tate and his sex scam and all this other bullshit, you know, Candace Owens, her being anti-Semitic. You know what this motherfucker says in the comment section? Why don't you talk about it? Why don't you do this? And why don't you do that? Clearly he is deflecting. I don't want to be that guy that's like saying like clearly he's being paid to like cater to these type of people, but let's be honest, this guy is clearly aesthetic. He's aesthetically Christian. He doesn't understand what it means to be Christian. He's siding or placating, or at least playing soft with the things that either A, bastardize Christianity, or at least sees Christianity as his enemy, and he's saying that's his friend, or he's defending them in some way, shape, or form. And I can almost tell you why he acts like this. He acts like this because he bases his entire perception on Nick based on the responses from the left, which is the most retarded thing you could ever fucking do. I've seen it too many times where people become too defensive. Like, I can understand like a lot of people on the left exacerbate and they're very hyperbolic about, you know, calling everything racist and this racist, but that doesn't give you the excuse to drop your guard to the point to where you're defending the biggest Hitler sympathizer on the face of the goddamn US. You've been talking about critical race theory in schools and how it's dumbing our education down to the point to where the students are coming out of the schools barely can read and barely can do math, and yet here you are watching a video of a man saying genetically it's intrinsic, meaning genetically black people are like this, when you've been doing videos about critical race theory in schools and it's dumbing down the future generation. Like, what the fuck is this, bro? You're gonna have to explain yourself. Like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, these people, like, it's either he's confused or he is selling out by playing this aesthetic of being, you know, a hero or a savior or a person that's proud of being black, you know, a person with a PhD and all this other shit. In actuality, it's just like he's just as confused as the people he talk about 24/7, robbing stores, committing crimes, throwing up gang signs. He's just as lost as they are. And what makes Candace Owens your sister anyways? Like, I noticed you and Officer Tatum does the same little thing with her. What makes you guys sister? Because y'all what makes her y'all sister? Because y'all look alike? Because y'all talk the same? Like, I don't get it. Like you claim to be a Christian. She claims to be a Christian. But ahistorically, she is quite literally siding with her ahistorical enemies, Islam, that honestly demands her death and sees her skin colors as nothing more fit than a slave. Again, what the fuck are you? Like I said before, guys, and I'll say it again, get the hell away from these types of people. Get away from them, because these are the type of people that they'll hug up on their enemies and bastard and beat up on their fucking allies. Like, leave a like, leave a dislike, leave a comment. Like, I'll see you guys in the next video. Like, Jesus, get the fuck away from these people. Get away from them. God.